You know, I am sure that in the upper room is great, but thank you for that. That was, wow. Would you pray with me, please? Bless the words of my mouth and my heart's meditation. Be a profit to us and acceptable to you, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. I want to ask you, if you would, to participate, because I need some help this morning. What are some of the commands in the Bible that are your favorite? That's a good one, absolutely. Okay, anybody else? Be not afraid. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Oh, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Isn't that something? And in all the major religions, there's some form of that. So that unites us. Okay, what about hospitality? We're to be hospitable, am I correct? Because we might entertain angels. Yes, absolutely. Okay, what is your least favorite command? Be honest. And your hardest? Love your enemies. Ooh, do not covet. Separating the goats and is that our job? Yeah, I want to say bah to that. Okay, all right. So, one of my least favorites is be patient. Okay? Judging our strengths sometimes against other people's weaknesses can really build us up. I would never do such and such, and I wouldn't, whatever it is. But if I see you do it, see, look how that makes me. I'm so much better. But what about my weaknesses and your strengths? So a lot of what we do has to do with our own experiences, maybe our own personality, or maybe the way we were brought up. One of the hardest things in the entire world for me not to do, and I am 10,000% better than I used to be, is judging. Oh my gosh, I grew up being taught if you didn't do this, you were going to, you know, right? You know. And so my salvation ended up being saved, lost, saved, lost, saved, lost, 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 saved, lost. Because I not only had to do right, I had to think right. You know, give me a break. So a lot of it has to do with the way we were taught growing up. And sometimes, I don't want to use that because it's, never mind. It just gets around us. And we have to try to break free. And for some of us, it's hard. And whatever we have the most struggle with, it's a constant kind of breaking free from what we have been taught. What changes? What changes someone? Maybe, and I have heard this and I don't discount anybody's experience, and I think God can do anything God chooses to do. All right. So, God speaks to you and tells you dramatically, stop doing it. Don't do that. You need to change your life. We do have scripture about that. Who was it? Who was it that, what? It wasn't Paul. It was Saul. Thank you. I'm sorry, that was a zinger. It was Saul who turned into Paul because he listened to what Jesus told him to do. Why do you persecute me? So he stopped. Okay. Maybe you've had a personal experience. Anybody? A personal experience that has caused you to start in a life of change. Anybody? Okay. Can somebody give it to me? Okay, well, you know what? I'm prepared because I can address that. What if it was a hero of yours? It could be someone, Maya Angelou. Oh, when you know better, you what? You do better. Wow, I've used that a million times. I know better. Now I'm going to do better. It may be someone from the Bible. It may be the Proverbs 31 woman, which I cannot stand that chapter. However, the verse that I chose, I like that one. Maybe it was seminary. Because I know there's a lot of people here that have been to seminary, and I'm going to tell you what, that rocked my world. I told someone today I entered a closet fundamentalist and ended up attending the most liberal seminary in the Disciples of Christ denomination, Phillips Theological Seminary. And I have stories, but there's not time, and you probably don't care. So there have been a lot of aha moments, and I'm sure there have been in your life, and hopefully that will continue. Now, I do a lot of funerals. With a funeral home in Blue Springs, they call me when someone doesn't have their own pastor, or they just want some clergy and they have no religious background, but their family member did, and to honor them. I've told them I will do for Muslims, for transgendered, for anybody, you know, I'll do the service. So that's how it started. But I did one recently, and what came through to me, and what really is the impetus for today, is to a person who I talked to and who I read online the comments at the service. She was a sweet person. Now, she was in her 40s, died way too young. But how sweet she was. I don't hear that a lot. I hear fun and this and that and other descriptions because I always ask, can you give me an adjective to describe this person? Because I don't know them. Sweet kept coming up over and over and over again. And so immediately I started thinking about being sweet. It reminded me of something that happened 40 plus years ago. And a little boy, my daughter was in school, and it was a private fundamentalist Christian school. And I was in the office that day, and this little boy had either scraped his knee or his elbow or something, and I put a Band-Aid on it for him. And he said, Mrs. Hill, you are so kind. Now, this is 40-something years ago. I have never forgotten that. You know, I can really say there are some positive things about me. I'm friendly. I'm outgoing. I'm welcoming. I'm enthusiastic. I try to be funny. There's a lot of things that I think are positives. Now, we're not going to go into my negatives, you know, because. But I can tell you that changed my life. I don't even remember the little boy's name. He has no idea the impact he had on my life because I would not have the adjective of kind associated with my name. Now, hopefully it wouldn't be evil or unkind, but it could be. But I've never thought of myself as kind. And I don't believe other people, even to this day, see me as a kind person, but I'm working on it. To the point where I resolved that day to make it a goal to be kind. You see, it's the little things that can really, really impact us, especially if we're looking for. God has never spoken to me directly. Could happen tomorrow, come on. I've had seminary experiences that were big and totally changed me. But nothing like that little boy telling me I was kind. When I was in West Virginia, I had a church in West Virginia, and I got a license plate that said, "Be kind." Now, it's easy in West Virginia to get a personalized, they call them vanity plates, and I hate that. Really. But it's pretty easy to get one because there's just not that many people. Try to get a Be Kind in Missouri or in California, where I was before I came to Missouri. And it got attention. People would say, "Oh my gosh, it's so good to see that. I hope people pay attention." And I'd go, "It's not for other people, it's for me." Seriously, it's to remind me to be kind. See, that is a command, to be kind. Oh, how many times are we unkind? Absolutely. And it happens, but this is something we can accomplish. I was driving, and I had my niece in the car with me, Angie. And Angie said, "Aunt Jan, you're a lot different when you're driving than you are normally." A little thing. And it made me think, oh my gosh, she noticed that. And some of you know this, I've told you this, I have literally would have a wreck because I wasn't going to let somebody in front of me. And I'm serious about this. I would not look. The lane was getting in, I would look straight ahead, and I thought if they hit me, they hit me. We played chicken. I always won. But what an attitude to have. Well, they shouldn't wait till the last minute and try to zoom up. Why not? See, I try, Barb, close your ears. I try to be a good driver. I will not wait till the last second to zoom in. That's a strength. Some people's weaknesses. And then that makes me feel very superior as I am playing chicken. I promise I did that in San Antonio, Texas many times. Well, now I don't do that anymore. If you want to get in front of me, now I have done this. Come on, get in front of me. I'm letting you in. So I'm still working on it. But that's a little thing that my niece said to me that changed me. So driving can be a real problem for some people in their patience. It happens. And it can bring out the worst in us. So I would encourage us to be kind when we're driving. Have you ever been to Walmart or Target or Costco or whatever, and somebody gets on your last nerve? You know, you get ticked off because you can't find a good parking spot. Then you get in and the cart you've got is one of these. You know, I just hate that. And then by the time you get to the checkout and you've had to stand in line and you're in the little line and there's somebody in front of you with 4,000 things that they think they can get by with, and they do. And it's so easy to be snippy. I know how to be really snippy. But let me tell you something. If we will stop and think, maybe that little checker who's being kind of snippy to you goes home to an abusive partner and knows when they leave that's what's ahead of them. Maybe they're struggling to keep their kids because they're in a battle. We don't know what's going on in other people's lives. I was on the phone a total of 6 hours trying to get my email sorted with GoDaddy. 4 hours one time, and I was on hold for 2 hours before they came. I was waiting to chew on somebody, and I did. See, I got a long way to go. But somehow that distance and not seeing that person, and if you get someone that you can't hardly understand, oh, that only helps. And I was fit to be tied. I should have been tied. Was it resolved? No. So I got to go through it again. Only this time it was only 2 hours. And it's still not resolved. I used to teach a long time ago at a college part-time. And people would say, yeah, but you can really vent. And I said, that's okay if that's how you choose to vent to somebody on the phone. But if that becomes your pattern, instead of looking back and saying, you know, that person may have an abusive partner. That person may be about to lose their job. Whatever. Maybe that person just lost a loved one, but can't miss work. If you can do that, Janice, if you can do that, it can change your whole attitude. And so I'm working on it. Boy, am I a work in progress. But I'm better than I used to be. You know, some of us are blessed to have family that we live with. And I have seen, I know when I was in West Virginia, I saw this over and over again. Someone would be very kind to everybody else and didn't have a good word to say about their spouse. Y'all, really? I have seen people berate their spouses, partners, family members, fill in the blank. Does that command to be kind stop outside your house? Absolutely not. We need to always be kind and think about the people you love the most, that sometimes that's who we're the most unkind to. Because they love us. We love them. They know it. But boy, we can sure put somebody's light out. What about our siblings? Different story, isn't it? I'm seeing some smiles on some people. Sometimes that lasts till you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. But sometimes those teen years can be really tough. Be kind unless you're a teenager. Be kind unless your mom says that one more time. Be kind except your son, your daughter, your cousin comes in late again. Be kind. There's no parameters on that. There's no be kind if someone's kind to you. That last slide we had up there, be kind to unkind people. They need it the most. People have scars today at our ages of things that happened 50, 60, 70 years ago. Had a woman that she was still brokenhearted because her father always wanted a boy. And she wasn't a boy. And it still wounded her. Well, did he mistreat you? No. Did he? No. Was he? No. But she knew he wanted a boy. You know, we really do need kindness, and we need it now. Are you finding it hard sometimes to be kind? Yeah. So I am going to commit to you to check me if you see me being unkind. And I am sincere in that. I beg you, that was unkind. Or, I'll know. Because I want to be kind. I've spent over 40 years trying to be kind. And you know what? It's a sweet command. Who loses when you're kind? Who loses? No one. Who wins? Everyone. And we can do it. You know, patience, I'm working on that too, but that's a harder one. Are you a jealous person? Thank God I'm not. I feel for people who are jealous. I just have never been a jealous person, so that's not my big bugaboo. But kindness has been tough. Patience has been tough. So let's help each other in love. Let's hold each other accountable. If you hear someone saying ugly things about someone else, look at them and think they probably don't mean to be unkind. And lovingly, not superior, looking down in an equal thing, or maybe even looking up. Help. Let's help each other, because it really is the little things that make such a difference. It's not really easy, but it is an endeavor so worth the trouble. Connor, come on.